Today I'm sort of diving into Mike from Modern Builds' trash to create a little bit of a treasure and a cute little sunset set moment in his backyard. I will only be tackling the longer bench, the love seat if you will, and saving that chair for another DIY that has to do with his tiny home bus conversion. But right when I saw this when I first came to Mike's house, that is when I knew I had to do something with it because it was from his previous owner. I knew I just had to show it some love. I don't typically do easy DIY thrift flips, but I really thought that there was something here that Mike could actually utilize for his space, and it would look fairly cute with the colorway that he's going to be implementing throughout. It is very clear that the previous owner took a little, DIY weekend and painted it blue and green, but that's not the vibe I wanted to go for. I actually really liked the wood, the weathered wood that was already on there, so I wanted to take it back to that and then paint it a pop color. I'm trying to learn how to balance life and work and all the things, and so I wanted to take on an easier project today and kind of dive into using old lumber if possible with my friends over at Zircon. First things first is we are going to take this completely apart, and I am going to save every single bit, scrap, hardware, bit, and bob that I possibly can because I want to be able to utilize as much as the original piece as possible. I know this is really far off of what I typically do, but as I mentioned before, I am just trying to take it a little bit easy before I step into my home, and it is just like a non-stop demo, reno, makeover after makeover. So I'm sorry if this is on the easier side of things today, but I thought it would be a fun DIY that anybody could do fairly easy with just an orbital sander. Being in the desert environment, everything gets weathered fairly quickly, and that is why I'm going to take the wood being back to its quote-unquote natural state, which is just a weathered desert wood from sitting outside day in and day out. And then what we're going to do with the base is go in with a Rust-Oleum rust-free or like it's just a rust-protecting primer, and then we'll come in with the pop of color. Like I mentioned before, I'm not going to be doing the chair, the single chair in this video. That will be a part of the final bus tiny home conversion episode where I reveal the entire thing to Mr. Mike. He actually has really never seen anything, not even the video while he's been gone for the month.
It is the funniest thing to me that you have to paint it a rust color when it's exterior, but I also love this color. This is the color of the rock at my house, but I want to do a pop of pink since I'm learning from all the Airbnbs that like colored furniture looks really pretty in the sunset, specifically blue and pink. So while this dries, we now go sand away. Don't mind the mess behind. Mike needs to move into his workshop, not mine.
As far as the wooden pieces, the ones with the screws stuck in them, I just hammered those out and then went in starting with a 60 grit to an 80 to 120 to 220 because something I've noticed about weathered desert furniture outdoor is they always tend to give me splinters, so I wanted to make sure that was not happening here.
This is where I currently watch the sunset. I didn't want to show you the before. So I want to turn this with that lounge set. I changed my mind. I want to just do a little mini makeover for Mr. Mike since he gets home on Monday, and transform this into a perfect little sunset set watching area. Okay, here we go.
I originally was actually going to be making this piece for my home, but then when I saw it start to take shape after I just started sanding it down and whatnot, I just thought it'd be a really cool piece to keep at Mike's, and also I think it has a cute fun story being the original piece from the previous owner. Because Mike is now back from his secret filming project, he is full steam ahead with his home. I didn't want to do too much with the exterior, but I did want to set up a nice little area for him to watch the sunset at night, which just included me cleaning up this small area, raking it so it's nice and smooth, because even raking some gravel makes everything look better. I know it seems kind of weird to be trying to clean up the exterior in the desert, but let me tell you, just showing a little love to any landscape, just even removing the smallest things that aren't supposed to be there, is gonna make a world of difference. Little fun fact right there, your girl got in a fight with a Joshua tree, and let me tell you, it won. That thing stabbed my head like there was no tomorrow. A tool I was looking forward to using in this DIY but ended up not because the wood on my property was a no-go is the Zircon MetalliScanner M40. Zircon's MetalliScanner M40 quickly and easily detects metal in wood, drywall paneling, tile, plaster, concrete, and other non-metallic surfaces. The M40 solves the problem of finding studs in lathe and plaster walls that do not contain metal mesh by finding the pattern of nails that attach the wood lathe to the studs. Now, you guys have actually asked a couple of questions about lathe and plaster, and I have a perfect example wall here for you. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to use it. The M40 features 2 scanning positions, each with a progressive LED display. It displays from the bottom up, and the top lighted blue coil and audio tone indicate when a metal target is located. So that's what's going to help you through this process of using it. The first thing you want to do is put it in wide scan mode and calibrate actually away from the wall, which you can see here. Once it is calibrated, you're keeping your finger on the trigger and you are bringing it back into the wall. You start to scan and then you'll see the LEDs, the lights will go from the bottom up, and when they are at their strongest, that is when you want to make a mark. I continue to scan the wall, which this is a lathe and plaster wall, which you guys have asked about before. I'll continue scanning, and when that signal gets weak or it drops back down, basically when it isn't strong anymore, I will make my second mark, and that is the area to which the metal should be in. I'm gonna go back after I make those 2 marks and recalibrate away from the wall, but within that new section that we just made, and do that once more to ensure that it can't get any smaller, or if it can, you're gonna make those marks just as we did before. Calibrating away from the wall and away from any metal puts the M40 in maximum sensitivity. Recalibrating closer to metal reduces sensitivity, so the nails will be found in a smaller area. When you've done that and you feel nice and secure about your markings, you're going to turn it to pinpoint and legitimately do the exact same thing. Recalibrate it away from the wall, bring it in, and then put it up against the wall and start to go down. And now you will see exactly where that metal nail is, or exactly where that metal is behind the wall. So a recap of basically what you're doing. Wide scan detects metal in walls or concrete, enabling you to scan a wider range of area. And you are narrowing it down a little bit more each time. When you're coming in with pinpoint, that is when you are finding exactly where that metal is.
And then for reclaimed lumber, which I have a ton of at my property, I just grabbed a couple of pieces that I thought I was going to use. These are my example pieces, but these longer dowels are what I thought I was originally going to cut down and utilize, but there's too much termite damage that this would just snap. I am gonna show you how it finds metal in reclaimed wood if there is any metal in here, but mainly, that tool is for lathe and plaster, which is always helpful. So let's go ahead and scan through this guy.
For example purposes, I want to make this very obvious that there is metal so you guys can see it here on screen. But basically, you'd be using this when like the nail heads fall off and you can't see the metal. You want to make sure you're not cutting into something that you're unaware of what is actually in there. It can really mess up your power tools. It can be dangerous to you. So that's why the MetalliScanner for reclaimed lumber comes in handy here. You're doing the exact same process as we did to the test wall.
Turn. Ha! Dang, this thing is so cool. All right. And there it is. Wow, Zircon, what in the world? Oh, I'm gonna be having so much fun over at the house with this. Pretty sure this is just gonna be like a go-to tool for anybody in my household.
Even though I didn't use the Zircon's MetalliScanner like I originally planned, that didn't hold me back from finishing this cute little sunset set moment. I set out the pink bench and then I started to place the wood back into place after we sanded it down smooth. I decided to even buff the screws that had a little bit of paint on them and make them very shiny silver to add another like metallic accent since we're doing pink, natural wood, and silver.
So now, I don't mind the open holes by any means, because I like when you pull away from it, it looks very like cut off and modern. Now we just have to add the middle piece, touch up the spray paint, style a little, and we should be golden.
I did pick up one new, it's called a furring strip from Home Depot, just to add that one new piece that was across since the other one was broken.
Okay, kind of nervous. It's all put back together. Okay. All right, cool. Oh my God, I almost just fell forward. So we gotta level it out. But dang, she cute and she knew.
I added a temporary covering to the fence just so you didn't have to see the trash and to style it a little bit better for you guys. But I'm not about to make a fence solution because now that Mike is back, like I said it before, he's just fully focused on flipping his entire house. If you guys do not follow Mike from Modern Builds, I highly suggest heading over to his Instagram. He's starting to post daily updates as to what he is executing in his home because I'm finishing up the makeovers, the mini ones that I've done here basically this week.
Yeah, just now we'll style it that way so you won't see it. Oh, and then there's that crap.
Don't feel weird if you're messing around with color. This is the first time for me, honestly, because if you guys have been following me along, you know I have done like neutrals upon neutrals with Paul's house and now Holly's house. And then Mike's house has been so much fun because I've gotten a little frisky, but I didn't like these pillows after all. I totally understand this is not what I typically do, but your girl needed a breath of fresh air, a little bit of a reset weekend, which is why I'm doing this thrift flip for Mike and setting up a simple backyard refresh, or corner refresh, I guess it would be more so. I think it's really cool. I wish I could know the story about who DIY'd this and when, because it was fun to kind of come in, take apart theirs, and redo it to fit Mike's aesthetic.
I was going to do something here, but I really want to learn how to weld it and use those holes for that. So maybe like an M and a B for Modern Builds, and then to paint it pink. Something cute, or leave it as is and cap those holes. But I just think the pink and the silver and the natural wood is so cute.
This is Callie and I's nightly routine here, and it's kind of sad that I'm gonna miss the sunsets here at Mike's because now we are officially moved in to our new home, but that didn't stop me from creating a moment that Mike can now have every single night and kind of remember me even though we're neighbors, but still have like a little bit of Rach babe in his life. I would like to give another thank you to Zircon. We have been doing a variety of videos here, and I'm excited to actually dive into my home with these tools and just naturally use them throughout the process and show you what their entire line is truly made of. Thank you guys so much for your patience and your love through this little blip of a chapter of what in the world are we doing over here. It is so eclectic, I promise you. Oh my gosh, the best is yet to come. I will see you soon for another DIY.